Look at this. What were they trying to insinuate? Like they wanted this to be like because every bit, even if it's just goofy and weird, what is this? This isn't very sexual. This is kind of nasty.
It is so disgusting. I mean, I don't even. You have no idea what it's like to try to suplex somebody in pudding. Like, I couldn't even get her out of the pudding. We were drowning. But we tried so desperately.
No, I can't believe, because that's not like water. You can't breathe under that.
I don't even know how it's possible to order that much pudding. I can't with you guys in this match.
And real quick, George, can we go to we might want to go back to this. Can we go to full screen 7 actually real quick? So you look at this match and then you compare, not that one, and then you look at that, you're doing the pudding thing. And then can we jump to full screen 7 real quick? Well, now that pudding match makes a lot more sense when you read this headline. WWE founder resigns after claims he defecated on a female colleague's head.
Wow. He definitely needs an emotional alignment.
Yeah, he needs an emotional alignment for sure. And actually, Jimmy, remind me, I need an emotional alignment. Maybe Candice.
And I brought, in case we wanted to recreate it, I brought chocolate syrup. I didn't know if you're interested.
No, we're not recreating that.
Are you sure? Just wanted to check.
I don't want to bash Vince McMahon. I think he's a legend. Yeah. His wife, Linda McMahon, works for Donald Trump. But Vince McMahon's a very controversial figure, iconic figure. In the storyline, he's the boss. You're the diva, and you date him in the storyline.
Yeah.
That had to be a cool opportunity, right? You probably had to be like, man, I'm with the boss. This is going to put me over big time.
Yeah, you know, for me, any opportunity, there was an opportunity. Vince, when he comes into a room, he has a very commanding presence. There's definitely just this power, energy that you feel. But I have never been disrespected by him. I have never been taken advantage by him.
That's a strong statement because Netflix made a documentary all about it, bashing him. But your experience with Vince was always respectful and nice.
Yeah, you know, I think maybe some people who have had encounters, you know, there's just childhood traumas on both sides, right? Yeah. Like he even did his documentaries. He for the first time shared some traumas as a child.
Yeah.
So you can see how power would, you know, be very effective for him and the life and the legacy he's built. But he has never, for me, or, you know, just never disrespected me, never tried to do something inappropriate to me. Like that storyline was a storyline, and it was exactly that. Afterwards, it was very professional. We move on to the next tape.
Well, let's play shot number 8. This seems like he was enjoying it, though. I don't know if you have that pulled up. Shot number 8. Yeah.
You know, it's just so nice for you to surprise me like this and join me here. Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, how is your chest cold?
Actually, it's healed up very nicely.
I do have magnificent healing powers, don't I?
Well,
Did he give you a
speaking of
vaccine?
those healing powers, Vince, I was wondering if you could help me with my labiagitis.
Labiagitis?
With your what?
With my labiagitis.
Labiagitis? I don't think I've ever heard of that ailment before. Is it acute?
Well, actually, it is pretty cute.
I think I can help you, Candice. I'll be the doctor and you be the patient. Yeah. Yeah, baby.
Okay, did you have to memorize the lines for that? Or was that improv, or was that all written out, scripted?
Oh, I think it was scripted for me, yes.
It was?
Yeah, I'd like to take credit for it, but that was scripted.
That was hilarious, but when you cut promos, your promos usually weren't scripted, or were those promos scripted?
They're slightly scripted, and sometimes you can go off the cuff a little bit.
You can improv it a little bit, but I guess, wow, because I thought wrestling... And I know, like, we see this as behind the scenes. Obviously, this is going to be, like, set up. They got cameras and stuff like that. But
there's my wand.
Yeah, that is the stripper wand. And look, Vince was smitten with you. You know Vince liked you. Let's not, because he could pick any girl. You're not, and I don't mean this disrespectful, you're not the only hot WWE diva. There's other beautiful ladies there. So he obviously took a liking to you. And obviously, you're very gorgeous. I'm just saying, I think that it was more than just a professional deal for him. I think he really liked you.
Well, I think when you have your own boundaries and, you know, people just know that, you know, so when you know that, you know that. When you give the little Iggy, you know that Wesleyan term, you know, then, you know, maybe it's more than that. He never got the Iggy from me, so it stayed professional.
But the Iggy talk about it a lot. Dude, were there a lot of wrestling couples? Because you talk about how you drove on the road, you would fly to a city, then you have to go to, literally in your car from hotel to hotel to city to city. If you're riding in a car with somebody, you can almost accidentally fall in love. So were there a lot of, relationships? Did you?
Yeah, there was, because a lot of people there, that's the only time they're meeting anybody. You go home and you're kind of unpacking, repacking, and just getting back on the road. So there was a lot of relationships that happened within the business.
What's the strongest drug you saw somebody take? Did you see somebody pop a lot of perks?
Yeah.
Look how serious. Candice goes from smiling to not smiling, Candice. I feel like, did you?
It was actually a traumatizing experience that I didn't realize when I was in it, because when you have friends taking a lot of pills, and you're so new to that whole realm. I was so young. But the hardest thing is you don't know how to help them not take it.
Yeah.
You don't really know how devastating it really is. And even if you say something, they're not going to stop.
Yeah, somebody has to want to stop.
Yeah.
You telling somebody, hey, those are bad. And then when you're wrestling, you're sore, you're hurt. A Percocet probably makes you feel. And then you said you guys party, you drink a little bit, you might be hungover, and you got to go do a match in front of 40,000 people at the, the American Airlines Center in Dallas or wherever you have to wrestle. So I could see why people lean and use drugs as a crutch when you have that hard of a lifestyle. Yeah,
it can be hard. For me, I think the gift for me is those pills make me vomit, so it wasn't an option for
me. What about
me.
Xanax? Did you ever pop any Xannies? I feel like I might need a little Xanax before I run out there and spank another woman.
You want Xanax before you spank a woman?
I might need a little, before I hop into a tub of pudding, I might need a little anti-anxiety medicine. Believe it or not, I run a little anxious always, and then if I hop in the mud and then I'm covered in the...
Pudding's kind of smooth, it's comforting. It's like, laying on a soft waterbed blanket.
It looks like poop.
Yeah. You should try it.
I might. Jimmy, go get a pudding bathtub.
Got
All
it.
right. Now, we played the Vince B-roll.
No, we haven't played. This is a different SOT.
Okay.
Candice chest cold.
We just played the chest cold.
No. This was what was before that video.
Okay.
Oh gosh, I'm so nervous.
I'm nervous too.
Yeah, it's this one's pretty wild.
Contest on the show that's safe and effective.
Doctor.
Why did they take this away from us? Why don't we have this more in society? What happened to society? Everything about that was socially acceptable, and I'm not just saying that sarcastically. It was sexual without really crossing the line. He didn't actually feel your breast, and it was funny. He's talking about the Holy Ghost. Why aren't we making content like that anymore? That's legendary.
Wow, that was so fun. I can't believe I did all that stuff.
I can believe it if Vince McMahon wants you to do it. I think I can believe it all.
But you know what? Back in the day when we did all that kind of stuff, we were having a great time.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we had so much fun. And the family that we built, and it's like home.
Okay, we got to play one last SOT. The show's almost over. SOT number 10. Very controversial clip.
All right, yeah, we're gonna.
Candice is Vince's sex slave.
In 2006,
this is one of the most controversial moments in the history of the production.
Portrayed as Vince McMahon's sex slave. This angle involved a plethora of suggestive scenes and implied sexual encounters between the two.
Very nice.
I do have magnificent healing powers, don't I?
At the time, it was viewed as somewhat edgy entertainment,
Somewhat
albeit
edgy.
in bad taste. But in light of recent real-world revelations, including damning accusations from Janelle Grant, where she alleges she was treated as a sexual slave for McMahon and his cronies, it's deeply unsettling.
While referring to her as his porn star.
This storyline blurred the lines between fiction and reality in a way that now seems potentially indicative of a toxic culture rampant with mistreatment towards women in WWE at the time.
I think I can help you, Candice.
What do you say to that? Are you going to put Vince McMahon over?
Yeah, well, this is really clear. You were talking about the terms of wrestling. When I was doing that with Vince, it's a work.
Yeah, it's a work. It's a
this is an act. We are acting this out. I know full-fledged what's happening. He does, and that's the end of it. What's happening with him and this former employee, that's a shoot. That's something that happened between the two of them. and they got to figure that out, you know. For
Vince never did anything to you. See, I like it. I mean, you're just being honest. That hey, it was always professional with him, and it's obvious that he was attracted to you. He wouldn't have chosen you to be in all this storyline. And isn't that crazy? I guess my last question is before in the show. Isn't it crazy that you were in one of considered the second most controversial storyline in the history of WWE? Isn't that crazy?
it's wild, yeah. It's really wild.
I'm so fly, I'm aligned with the planes. My grind so refined, I got no time for no games. Ask yourself